It was a cold and rainy night in a Hungarian palace. A princess, in an outburst of anger, did something that changed the world. But to understand this story, we have to go back in time. The legend has its origins in a watchmaker's workshop in the center of Prague. Despite its excellent location, very few locals would go in to have their watches fixed, and those who did had probably stumbled upon it by accident. No wonder. The watchmaker cut a lonely, disheveled figure, a misfit, a freak, unbalanced if you prefer, said some. Others claimed he had lost his mind. Whatever the case, throughout the city he was known as the Crazy Watchmaker. And crazy he was. Crazy to know the future. He spent his days obsessed about the passage of time, the control of the future, and trying to change the inescapable tick-tock of the hands of the clock. After many years of failed experiments with concoctions and potions, he realized his mistake. He understood that a human could never have superhuman power. What he had to do was create something that could do magic. And so, he made a thing no one had ever seen. A perfect automaton capable of foreseeing the future. It was his masterpiece. He had achieved his life's goal. Now, a young Hungarian princess, looking forward to discovering Prague, was bouncing with joy. She was traveling with her court on one of her regular journeys to satisfy her curiosity about other cultures. One day, she came across the Crazy Watchmaker's workshop. Unable to resist the temptation, she entered. But it was neither the workshop nor the watchmaker that irrepressibly caught her eye. It was the automaton and his clothes and his appearance of a wise sorcerer. What the watchmaker didn't know was that the princess had her own power, albeit a far earthlier one. With her beauty and eloquence, she was able to persuade anyone into giving her whatever she wanted. And with the capriciousness of a princess, she decided she must have the automaton. It didn't take much effort to get the watchmaker to give it to her, to entertain her palace visitors. How illustrious were the guests she hosted for lunch on her return to the palace. The princess didn't hesitate to surprise them with the appearance of the automaton, renamed now El Adivino. During the evening, El Adivino fulfilled the function for which he was created, and told the guests their future if they asked for it. So accurate and wise was her fortune-telling that the princess realized this was no mere pastime. It was a unique tool for knowing the future. That was the first and last time she showed off the automaton in public. She wanted to keep him exclusively for herself. From that day on, she locked the automaton in a secluded compartment in a room deep inside the palace. El Adivino was imprisoned in the cellar surrounded by barrels of wine, the same wine that was served to the royal family and its court. The princess made sure to visit El Adivino every night and learn his omens firsthand. Her obsession with the future slowly and slowly grew and grew. The princess, like the Crazy Watchmaker, became a taciturn, lonely soul, mad to learn what the future held and to discover the fortune of her destiny. Would she be loved by the people? Would they reject her? Would she live up to her father's reign? Her future was fraught with uncertainty. Naively, the princess believed El Adivino's luck would always favor her. But one specially cold and rainy night, as if it were an allegory of nothing good being able to happen in such weather, the fortune heralded by the automaton was dark and unpromising. In an outburst of anger at the poor future, the princess took it out on him. She pushed the automaton with all her might, causing him to topple into a wine barrel. At that moment, the world changed forever. There was no way the princess could prevent the curse. After that, the automaton blended with the wine, and his wisdom and prophecies became available to all. Exactly the opposite of what the princess sought. That was her punishment for all eternity. Nonsense, legend, or reality, the story has endured from that day to this. But if one thing is certain, it is that Il Adivino's premonitions always, always, always came true. You only need to dare to spark his magic.